All right, finally. Looks like we got that. So sorry about that for those of you who've been here waiting for me. Technical difficulties trying to get this webcam set up. It's a different webcam than I normally use, so I apologize about that. But we have a few minutes before people get here. Bad video settings, please keep... Looks like we gotta fix these video settings here. So sorry about the infinite loop. Let's see, which one do we have going on? Buffering auto detect. Alright. Hey, what's going on? How you doing today, man? So today we're going to talk about staying motivated. And I'll tell you what. Let me go ahead and fix this here. I don't feel too motivated today. I just had this webcam and put it up 3 times, and it got all messed up. So I'm going to go ahead and have to go back through that stuff and fix it. But yeah, here we are. Let me know if you can hear me. Hear me well. I'm using a different mic today. Everything is crazy today. Where are you from? How do you say it? Chirozis? Let's go ahead and get this out. There we go. So let me know. Can you hear me on this mic all right? Got a couple people here now. Call me Ray. All right, Ray. So I take it you can hear me. I know there's a little bit of a delay between when I see this and when you get it. You're from Atlanta, all right. Pretty cool. You get people from all around the world, so it's just nice to know. Oops, retracted that message. Sorry if I wasn't supposed to let everyone know. Anyways, so it's Sunday. Trying to get started. It's already 10:30 here, and I have a lot of stuff to do with React and stuff. But give it a couple more minutes, and then we'll get started, and we'll talk about how you can stay motivated, because it sometimes can feel like a constant grind, learning and trying to do this stuff. So we'll wait a few more minutes to have a few more people, and then we'll get into it. And so what I do, what you guys do, any tips that you guys have for me would be great, and we'll talk about it. And then of course, if you have questions or comments, let me know. Like always, I'd be happy to answer them. But I don't know how long this one's going to be. Maybe about 20 minutes for this live stream. So yeah, so we got 3 people here already. Let's go ahead and open up a different window here, because I know it's not always great to see this. Let's go ahead and get some stuff set up. I'm always on audible.com, but mostly on my my iPhone, not so much here. What else are we gonna need? What else are we gonna need? Oh, gotta sign in. I know this isn't very exciting right now, but hang in there with me for a minute. Of course, YouTube and Amazon. Okay. Let's see what we got here. 3 watching? That's good enough. Let's go ahead and get started and talk about it pretty much. I'm gonna put this over here. Put this over here. That way you guys can see, the messages that are coming in. Maybe if I can grab that. Oh, you guys ever struggle with this? Oh, there we go. Okay. So let's go ahead and talk about ways to stay motivated. So when I started out in web development, no one told me what to do, or no one told me this is a good idea. It's just kind of something that I researched on my own and looked through a lot of blogs, a lot of Reddit and Quora, and just decided this is what I'm going to do. But with that, it's a lot of self-study and being kind of alone, so much, so to speak. At least for me, where I live in a small area where there's not like any web developers. I don't think I've even met one. Like here, I've only talked to one person like about it, like one-on-one, once, and that's Madison, who's in the Udacity Nanodegree program with me. So what I've done is actually have to go online for a lot of my stuff to stay motivated. Read a lot of stories from others, and then a lot of books about like marketing or like staying motivated and stuff like that. One of my favorite books, actually, let's go ahead and pull it up. Oh, there it is. Think and Grow Rich was a book that I look at a lot. I know there's a lot of different things, like a lot of different opinions on self-help books, but this one's really helped me focus. Whenever I feel like, I can't do it or this is not a good use of my time, I would go to this book and read it, and it tells you about setting goals, about having that extreme focus. Now, granted, there are a few weird things in this book, especially like the older edition, where like if you wear a hat, it's like too tight and it cuts off the circulation and it will make you go bald. So you gotta take it with a grain of salt. It is an old book, but if you do the things that are in there, like repeating your goals, setting a plan, you're gonna reach those goals a lot more frequently than before, just because they're like ingrained into you. I said that I was going to get a job in web development, and it took me a while, but because I stayed with it and I had this goal, this vision, I was able to go ahead and do that. So this is a great book. I would highly recommend it if you haven't seen it. You don't read books unless it's about programming. Well, you can go ahead and actually get an audio book, and I don't really read too many books either, Ron. So I would go ahead and sorry, it was Ray. But I would go ahead and get this book on audio, like when you have to walk or something. But yeah, I agree. I agree with you. I don't really read too many books unless they're audio books, unless they're for programming or something like that. Then I always will go for the paper version. I don't think they even have audio versions for like MongoDB for good reason. But that really comes to the core, which is having a goal and setting that goal and continually envisioning that goal. So for me, like I'm going full stack, and I'm learning MongoDB and Node.js and React, and it can be hard. It seems like there's a lot of stuff there. Hey Ken, what's going on?
You're on the phone?
No, I'm on a live stream. So
okay, man.
No, it's fine. That's Ken. He's one of my old social media clients, but he wants to come say hi. Say hi.
I don't know who I'm talking to.
You're talking to a few people here, so see ya. That's the great thing about coming to town. You get to see a lot of people that you don't get to see very often. But yeah, he says I really helped his business with social media. It is a blast. Let's get back on topic. Sorry. Setting a goal, for what you did. So I'm going full stack, and it's hard. Like, I got to learn database. I got to learn back end stuff. I have to do, I have to do all this stuff. But I have this goal. Like when I first started out, I wanted to make something like lynda.com or Treehouse, making a website. Oops, let's scoot this over. Making a website for this stuff. So those are the technologies I need to know. Like store the user's data here. I need it to look nice. So the front end, and I want it to be fast. React, work on states, that type of stuff. And it all comes together. Same thing with video. Because I do video, I want to be able to actually make the courses. So that's a big goal. But if you break it up in tiny parts, like, okay, I'm going to learn MongoDB today, or during this time period, or I'm going to learn Node.js during this time period. That's an easy way to break it up. So, MongoDB, I was going to learn that for a month and a half, and I just totally dedicated as much time to it. Now is React, a month and a half. That's a pretty small goal, but you can break it up smaller so it's not so daunting. So like today, I had to get at least 8 to 9 hours in. It's already 10:30. Ugh. So do that, and so breaking them up helps you stay motivated. But that's the biggest the biggest thing that I've done. But sometimes you just need a break. I don't know if I've told you guys this, but before I got this web development job that I have now, I actually was a social media manager, and that was like a 6-month break from coding. but it was still related. I learned photography, video. I learned graphic design a lot. So I did a lot of graphic design. But I did take that break, and it's made me a better developer because of it, in my opinion. I just know how things should look, why they look this way, why do we give this specific button this color instead of that color, why do we match the fonts like this, what is that saying about the product itself. Things like that really matter. Let's see, let me just check in on you guys, see who we have here before watching. Cool. So sometimes taking a break is really important, but you have to go ahead and have it be related. Otherwise, it's going to be a lot harder to come back to. And like I said, sometimes, 6 months. That was a long time. Hey, what's going on? Is it Alma? Alma Onyx? Where are you from, man? Or lady? I'm always trying to find out where people are coming from for my live stream. Today we're at Brew House, which is a coffee shop that I come to in Pocatello. I'm actually here to take care of my parents' cat. But that's a separate story. We're just, if you're tuning in now, we're talking about staying motivated as a web developer. We've talked about this book over here, Think and Grow Rich. We've talked about splitting up into goals. Audiobooks, that's what we should get into. There are a ton of audiobooks that I use on Audible, and they just help me stay focused. This is like my new version of parents, because my parents, they grew up at a different time and had a different way of getting job security and being successful. And so, the thing to do is just stay at a job for a long time and be quiet and don't do anything and slog it out, and you'll be rewarded. And it doesn't work that way anymore. Like, I've worked several jobs like that, and it's just, it didn't work for me. So I go through audible.com, and I go and see, I'll go for a lot of, like, quote-unquote self-help books, but Seth Godin is my favorite guy to go to. Tribes is a great book. Linchpin, I literally just got done with that for the second time, going through this book. All Marketers Are Liars. Of course, that's more for marketing, but these books will help, help you remember why you're doing this, why you're going through this journey and what it's for. And let me just pull out my phone here and I'll show you. Like, I'll just go on a walk sometimes when I need a break from the code, and I'll just load them up on my phone. Now, I dropped it the other day, so the screen looks broken. Let me go ahead and expand this over here. Maybe not. Whoa, this is crazy. Not today. Well, let me go ahead and show you. If you can look in the corner here. And I apologize for the screen because I broke it the other day. Just all these different books, just loaded up. You can just buy them here and then load them up. How's the React course? The React course is actually pretty good. I went through it all yesterday. I literally spent from 10 to 6 just on the course, at home, no one there. I went through the entire course again, and at first I was like, I don't understand anything, but now taking your time, doing it a second time, you can understand, like, okay, this is why we use React Router. This is how the states work, how the actual flow goes. It's really cool. Female from Houston, Texas. Cool. A lot of people actually on my channel are Texas, Florida, New York, and California. And in Idaho, is the lowest. Some of the lowest views. No one cares about my channel here, where I live. Staying on top of the books, actually. Go through these. Look for books like Think and Grow Rich, Seth Godin. Gary Vaynerchuk's another one that I like, but he can kind of be loud and obnoxious. Same with what's his name? What's his name that I used to look at? Hold on, 10x Rule guy. And if you guys have any suggestions, let me know in the comments. 10x Rule by Grant Cardone. He's a pretty cool guy, but he's kind of crazy, so you got to watch out for him. But he'll give you a real kick in the pants, okay, this is where you're at, and this is what you got to do. And sometimes you just have to hear that from someone that isn't your parents. My parents would probably say that, but they're from an older time where things were different, and you could just go to work, and that was it. And what I'm finding for most people, that doesn't work. Some people it works out great, but for me, No, especially like in this job, you can't just go to work. You'll fall behind fast. So yeah, and you have to love it. One of the things that Seth Godin actually said is it's easier to bring your passion to your job than your job to your passion. So I mean, that's something to think about too. If you're at your job, bringing like what you're passionate about to your actual job is a way to stay motivated. And what that means is, like, say I'm in customer service. Well, how can I make that better while I'm trying to learn this web development stuff? You can learn about the customer experience, and bring that passion there, and then work that into like your web development. So when you're making a site, have it be around that customer experience. It's kind of hard to think about it like that, but that's one of the favorite ways that I like to do it. Going to Quora is like another go-to strategy I always do. So like if I look up, how to get into web development, you'll see a ton of different stories. Like, what's the best way to get into web development, da-da-da-da-da. And if we go here, there's just tons of answers that you can choose. How did I start? This is from Mark, and then, you can see the views. That's one of my favorite ways. Hey, Tina, nice to see you here in the live stream. Thanks for coming by, and thanks for all the comments on that one video. Tina watches the front-end web developer course that I put out there, and she gives me a lot of shout-outs, so I appreciate it. And, I appreciate it whenever you guys comment on my videos or come here to hang out with me. So Quora is a great way to go ahead and, go through things, find out questions, and that was actually one of the best ways that I went through. I know a lot of people use Reddit, but I haven't really used Reddit. And then, just going through some of your YouTube stuff, and the layout literally just changed like while we were doing this, so I'm kind of like all over the place. Some of my favorite YouTubers, I know I've said this before, so if you've seen this, I apologize. Roberto Blake, he does a lot of entrepreneur, graphic design, that kind of stuff. Simple Programmer with John Sonmez, and he's actually answered a few questions for me. Let's go ahead and see here. Personal branding. Oops. I cannot spell on camera. Okay, so this video right here at the top, he'll talk about personal branding versus technical skills, which is actually a video question that I sent him. So that's something that you should check out later. But this guy, I mean, he's not a current software developer or web developer, but he was one for a long time, and so he has a lot of good insight. In fact, he just had a book that launched just the other day, and if I spell incorrectly, I apologize. So this book, The Complete Software Developer's Guide, will help get you started too. I mean, it just is about like surrounding yourself with as many positive influences as possible, and you don't always have to have someone there with you to do this. Like I made like my YouTube channel for that, and so now I have people like you coming through, and that helps me stay connected, helps me stay motivated. It feels like I have now I have a community of people that I can talk to, and it keeps me motivated. It is extra work, but overall I think it makes me more productive. It keeps me accountable to doing that. So if you can find like a group, like, oh yeah, let's talk about that, meetup.com. This is another way to stay motivated and meet different people. Now, in my area, there's only like a few people, but meetup.com is a great website. If you haven't used it, you can find people that are into what you're into. Let's go ahead and log in here. No matter what it is. So even if you didn't want to do like web development, you could do this. Let's see. So here, Monday Night Games. I'm not into that. Let's go ahead and just type in like coding in my area. Any day now. Coding. Hey Tina, where are you? I've asked everyone, where are you from? It's thinking about it. And you can just set the radius and where you're from. I mean, I assume you guys are pretty tech savvy if you're here. But it's taking its sweet old time. Let me go ahead and see how many people we have in the live stream here. 5 people, wow. Well, it's not going to load, but but you know that's what happens when you go live. If you go to meetup.com, you can find a lot of stuff within your area, and that's for tech or for coding. You know, that's what I use mine for. Code and coffee. Here we go. So the villa, I put that in my video for favorite places I like to study. We have a few people going there. As you can see, not very many right now. We just talk about all sorts of stuff. So Saturday, August 5th is actually me. I need to get on that and give an introduction. Whoops. But yeah, meetup.com is a great way to find people in person. But I haven't found any web developers, just like software engineers that code in like C++ or C# or something like that. So yeah, any questions from anyone so far? Should I use my name as a brand? Like, you know, he has all sorts of cool videos. So we've talked about audiobooks, you know, paper books that I've used. Meetup.com, Quora, YouTube, taking breaks. That's one thing that we do. You know, this dude right here is pretty awesome too. So OCJO, he's one of my regular people that comes by learning coding. So shout out to him. I don't know if we've talked about the Pomodoro technique that a lot of people use. It's like doing like work in sprints, like 40 minutes and then taking a 20-minute break. Sometimes that works for me. It might work for you. That's one way to stay motivated. But, you know, I think I have ran out of things to talk about. So if you have any questions, go ahead and, you know, put them in the comments section now or forever hold your peace. No, huh? No questions. All right. Well, thanks for coming by. I know it was a struggle today, but I wanted to make sure to, you know, come by, put in the work. That's ultimately what matters, is putting in that work, whether it be with web development, YouTube, or whatever, whether you're motivated or not. So you know, we'll do this again. If you have any topics for like live streams, just, you know, put them in the comment section, send me a message, whatever, and then yeah, that's what we'll do. The next video I think that I'm going to do is going to be before the React journey, and I think we're going to do WordPress and like Squarespace, like WYSIWYGs versus hand coding. So keep a lookout for that. I'm excited to hear your highly opinionated comments on the topic. So thanks for coming by. Have a great Sunday.